Hi, my name is Alfred, and I would like to share a little bit about my programming knowledge. I am a full stack developer. I do web applications, mobile applications of any kind. So, by the grace of God, I have been programming for over 12 years now, and it has been one hectic journey because I have had to learn things the hard way, but I wouldn't want you to go through the same experience. So I am putting together some material and content to help guide someone who is starting afresh and probably you're switching career, or you're just a young person and you're wondering, you're seeking direction. Where can I start from? You want to learn programming. So this is what I recommend. Step one, just choose a stack and choose very wisely. In my own definition, a stack is a set of programming tools that complement one another, and each of them plays a unique role to the end goal of creating a functional software application. I call them tools because it's a mixture of different things, programming languages, it has databases, it has servers, and all these things. So um, for every category, you first have to ask yourself, do you want to be a mobile app developer? Do you want to be a web developer? Do you want to be a desktop app developer? Do you want to do IoT, that's robotics, artificial intelligence, and all that? So, what you decide eventually will determine the stack that you need to choose. You you might want all of these because eventually you might study a little bit of each of these, but you need to choose a starting point. So if you want to start with web development, for example, you need to know that for web applications and websites, each of them, you're going to find frequently that you need a database, you need a back-end programming language to interact with a server and perform sophisticated functions like communication and uploading files, all those things. Those are things done in the back end. So another part of the web application development is a front end programming language. We only have one, that's JavaScript. So you must learn JavaScript in a way. Of course, you have to learn HTML, CSS. All those are part of the front end programming language. They're like a must learn. So you can start with HTML and you go to CSS, then you can do JavaScript. That is how you can start. Then after that, you can see how to choose now the back end and also a database. So start with just HTML, basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Yes, all these are on the front end and they will really help you to get started. Yes, there's a website you can learn from. It's called W3, W3 Schools. I think .org or .com. I'm not sure. You can find out. But it's W3 Schools. It's very, very helpful. You can even download it and install it on your computer. It is free. It has tons of lessons. It's what I used when I was starting to learn, and boy, it was such a relief. Yes. So you can also hire a, a developer who is willing to work with you the journey. Of course, I'm willing. You'd have to pay me though. So that is also another way you can quicken your learning process. Anyway, the choice of any of these that you choose will determine how you build and host your web application for other people to use or to access it. So let's dive into web development stacks. A stack is really determined by the programming language that you choose, especially the language for the back end. As we say, the front end, we only have JavaScript. So ideally, it doesn't matter which stack you choose. For example, if we consider web development, every stack you choose should be able to perform any tasks that you want to do on the web, be it saving data on the database, querying data from the database, uploading files to the server online, doing whatever. Every stack should be able to be complete. It's like a complete package that does whatever you want. So in short, you don't need to really know all the stacks. Just one stack can be enough to take you through your entire career. And that's why it's very important to decide carefully what stack you want to choose. Most people recommend either the man stack or min stack. As we are going to see below, we're going to see what these stand for. But the thing with these two stacks is that they use just one programming language for both the front end and the back end. So in short, someone doesn't have to learn more than one programming language to be good at web development. Yes. However, these two stacks, they do have their limitations, but to the greater extent, you will not feel the pinch if you're really good at them. You won't feel the need for any other solution. So let's dive into the stacks. First, we have JavaScript stacks. We have two of them, which are the most prevalent. There is man stack and min stack. Each of these initials stands for a specific technology or language or tool. So in man, we have MongoDB or MySQL. That is a database. Express.js is for the back end and React.js is for the front end. Node.js is also for the back end. Now, Node.js and Express.js are similar. It's just that Express.js is like a modern version of Node.js. Yes, so Node.js is a little bit crude and it does things a manual way, but it's a good thing to start with learning Node.js, then you move on to Express.js. Yes, because Express is built on top of Node.js. For the database, you have to choose one of these. There are other different databases, but there are really two main types. MongoDB is a non-relational database, which means it doesn't have tables. Yes. Then MySQL is a relational database. It uses tables. Some of them are linked together. It is really SQL. SQL is like the general family. MySQL is just one database brand that uses SQL. There are others. There's PostgreSQL, there is Oracle. So all those databases use SQL as the underlying structure, which are really basically tables. Yes, which are related with each other. These tables store data in a very structured manner. So MongoDB is not like that. It's data is unstructured. So read a little bit about this too. But the most common is definitely the MySQL. You'll find it in so many places. Many of the websites use it because, first of all, it's free, it's easy to use. So even PostgreSQL is also similar to this. So Oracle is a little bit enterprise. It's actually very enterprise because it comes with extra features like security. They have advanced security on their databases. So banks and other security sensitive applications, they definitely use Oracle to the great extent. I'm pretty sure of that. So read a little bit about the databases and choose. The recommended one is definitely start with MySQL or PostgreSQL. Any of the two will do. Next is min stack. Min stack, the only thing that changes between these two is the R and the A. So the R stands for React.js, which is a front-end development framework created by Facebook, and the A stands for Angular, which is the equivalent of React.js, but it is created and owned by Google. So choose any of those two. Of course, they have differences, and that is not to be covered in this video. I'll do that in the next video. The other stacks we have use different programming languages. We have Java uses Spring Boot, Play Framework, and other frameworks. So the frameworks you see here in the bracket, they are the most common as per what I've found out. They are very highly supported. They have a good community. People have shared tutorials and everything. It will be easy for you to learn. Yes, so depending which of these languages you want to learn, I mean, they all do the same thing. That is the truth. Yes, of course, popularity, they differ. Some languages are more popular than others. Now, others are also very good at specific tasks. For example, if you want to do machine learning, robotics, and all that, a lot of data analytics, Python is the most recommended one. Yes, but Java has its own advantages as well, even PHP. PHP is very easy to learn and it is really the most common web programming language that is there. I mean, it's what WordPress uses, and although it has its own disadvantages as well. So just read a little bit about this and you'll be good to go. C# is owned by Microsoft, so it's also a good option. The rest are the same. The front-end technology, you either choose Angular or React. Databases remain the same. So yeah, each stack that you choose has its pros and cons, and it will be hosted on a specific server. Some servers don't host certain programming languages. Just be aware of that. So lastly, you must learn how to use Git and GitHub. What you're really using is Git, but GitHub is like the platform or the website that implements Git and makes it make more sense. So GitHub is a website where you store your code, and what it does, it is so powerful that it keeps versions of your code, in that you might have made 30 changes on your code, and I mean, a week has passed, you've been making changes every day and uploading them or pushing them to your storage online, but then you change your mind, you're like, no, I want to go back 30 steps behind. That is what Git enables you to do, because as you program, you're going to make many mistakes. You will create something that is close to what you want, but then you mess it up, and then you cannot trace the original version when things were working well before things got messed up. So that's the power of Git and GitHub. GitHub is online. You have to go create an account for yourself. We call them repositories. You have repositories there, you create them. They're like little storage spaces for your code. So every project you create can have its own repository. The advantage of that is that you'll be able to collaborate with other programmers. Eventually, when you've grown in your programming, you'll be able to get copies of people's code. So GitHub is really powerful. I recommend you to learn it from the very beginning. Otherwise, thank you, and I hope you enjoy your programming journey. Feel free to reach out in case of anything. Thank you, and God bless you.